During this video about Adobe Experience Design, we will continue to talk about the assets, and in particular, we are going to talk about the components. So we're gonna see how to use them and how they can help our work into Adobe Experience Design. Also, we are going to use the option Repeat Grid. We are into the design area still. This is because to understand how to work into the prototype area, we have to understand in particular how to work into the design area. In fact, we cannot interact with our elements without designing them first into this work area. So we are now into the layer panel, but we can go to assets, and as we can see, this document as only these components into the assets, and we don't see, for example, the colors that we saved in the previous video because this is the original tutorial file. So if we go to File, we can also manage our libraries, and from the libraries we can create and insert also from other Adobe's programs the components. So this is one way to import graphics from the outside, but we can also use the UI kits. You can go to File and then to Get UI kits, and as we did in one of the previous videos, it will open this web page, and I suggest to you that you download as many UI kits as you can because they can be very helpful into your design process because they are full of elements and components that you can use in your own projects. So let's get the kit of Apple Design Resources, and with these resources you can design apps quickly and accurately by using Sketch, which is an Apple program, but you can also use Photoshop and XD. So we will download the XD files, and we can go back to this web page and download, for example, this Google Material Design. So we can click on Get the Kit, and this kit is a zip file, so we can extract it in our specific folder, but these files are DMG. DMG is an Apple format, and if you don't have, for example, an Apple computer, you can open it right away. You will have to open it with another app. For example, you can use zips to open these DMG files. So we can extract this zip, so we can click to open, and then we will extract these files. We'll extract it in our folder and click OK. So let's open our folder and let's find our files that we have downloaded so we can open it into Adobe XD. So we can open the dark theme or the light theme. This is a very useful option to have a dark theme other than a light theme because there are a lot of users that prefer a dark theme, and if you can design a website or an app that can adapt to this user need, it can be a very useful thing. You can have more details in your project. So you can go to light theme, for example. We can open it into Adobe XD. These are very big files, so they can be a little difficult to use. This is because when we have a lot of elements into a single file, it can be a little slow. In fact, I always suggest to use more files on Adobe XD, at least when you are still doing your process of your project, and maybe take all of your files at the end and then assemble them. This is because you can work really fast, but when you have a lot of elements, it will slow you down a little. So now we have opened this file, and as we can see, we have a lot of assets saved, which is very different from the assets that we saw in the tutorial file. And we can see that there are a lot of colors saved, a lot of fonts, also icons. And of course, you can import these icons in your file. And I will now let you know what you can do with the assets. One cool tool is, for example, to save the color of this rectangle. As we can see, we have two main colors. So we can go to colors and click on plus, and of course it has saved the colors as we saw in the previous video. So we can click with the right side of our mouse on the color, on one color. We have to select it first and then click on edit, and it will open these options of colors. And as you can see, when you change one color, all of the elements, if they are saved into the components, into the assets, will change the color. So this is a very useful tool that will speed your work faster. So now that we saw that we can change by changing the color from the assets, all of the colors of the things that have the same color, we can now do other experiments with the components. So we are now going to see what is the main difference between the copy and paste of a simple element on Adobe XD and what is a copy and paste of a component of an instance. So we can now, for example, create an ellipse, and into this ellipse we can put an image. So we can use the image that we used in the previous video. So we can choose to use this castle, and as we can see from the layers, we have this castle, and now we can do with our keyboard Ctrl+C and then Ctrl+V, and we have copied and pasted this element. So with the first element that we created, we will select it, and we will go with the right side of our mouse to make the group. So you can click on group, or you can use the shortcut Ctrl plus the letter G, and now we have the group. So we can rename it, for example, Castle Group. And now with the other element that we copied and pasted, we can go with the right side of our mouse after we have selected it and click on Make Component, or use the shortcut Ctrl plus key, or also going to the Assets and click on plus. So we have now the first difference between a group and a component. The group has this outline in blue, in the color blue, and the components have the outline in a green color. So this is the first difference. If you, for example, are using a file that you don't know, so for example, a UI kit, you can see which are the components, which are the instances, and which are the groups and the simple elements. So what we are going to do now is to copy and paste the group that we have created. So we can click on the group, we can select it and go to Ctrl+C and then click on Ctrl+V, and we have copied our element, our group. We can use the smart guides to align them. And then we are going to copy and paste the component. So we can select it, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and now we can use the smart guides, and we have copied our groups and our components. Of course, when we copy a group, it will copy another group, so we have this blue outline, and the same thing with the components. So we have the green outline into the original component, but also into the copy of it. So we are going to see what is the main difference, what is the difference between the copies of groups and the copies of instances or components. So when we create something on a simple element as a group, and we create it on the original element that we have created, it will not change anything into the copy of it. But when we create something into an instance, into the original of an instance, the same thing will appear into its copy. So they remain connected. Let's see this now. So we can create, for example, a triangle into this group. So we can enter into the group by clicking 2 times with our mouse. So we can create a triangle, and of course, nothing happens on the copy of it. But when we do the same thing with an instance, let's see, double click and then create a triangle. And as we can see, it is creating the same triangle, and as I change the dimensions of this triangle, it is changing them also in its copy. This is because, as I said, when we create a copy of an instance, they remain connected. So the copies remain connected to the original instance. And the same happens if I change, for example, the position of the image and other things. So of course, we can change the name also of the components. So we can double click on the name and, for example, name it Gesso component. So now let's use the option repeat grid. So if we, for example, create a rectangle here, of course, it is a simple element, so it has the blue outline. Now we can click on repeat grid and it has now a green outline. This is because it is now an instance. It is not saved into the components. In fact, you can create an instance and of course you don't have to put it into your components, but if you want, you can. So it will work the same way if you save it in the components. So we can use it without saving it into the components. And of course, we can see that we can enlarge by using these handles, and it is creating a series of the rectangle that we created at the start. And if we click on ungroup grid, they will be now elements, simple elements. And of course, we can see on the layer panel that we have a layer for all of the elements. So for each element, we have a layer, but if we go to Ctrl Z and we go back, we have only the repeat grid. So when we create a grid, the elements are connected to the original copy, but if we go to ungroup grid, they are not connected anymore. So, of course, when we enter into this grid, we can see that by hovering with our mouse onto these spaces, we can see this pink space. And from here, we can see the distance in pixels between our rectangles in this case. So we can change the dimensions from here. So, of course, when we change, for example, the original copy, it will change all of the rectangles of the series. So, now let's see another trick that we can use with the instances. It is the same concept, but we are going to create 3 artboards. So, can create 3 artboards. Let's move them on the right so that we can zoom on them, and we can use the smart guides to align them. And we have our 3 artboards. Now, on the first artboard, we are going to create a rectangle, and we can also use the smart guides. And now let's create a text into the rectangle. So we can, for example, write website. So we can align it with these smart guides. Of course, if you use the layout grids and the square grids, you will fasten this process, but you can also use the smart guides. So now we will select these 2 elements and make them components. Of course, we have the green outline, and we can also create another rectangle. Let's pretend that this is the structure, the main structure of our website. So we can make this element a component, and of course we have the green outline. And now let's see what we can do. We will select these components and we will copy it and paste them onto these other artboards. So Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and again Ctrl C and Ctrl V. And now let's use the smart guides to help us to align them. Okay, and now we have these 3 artboards with the same components. Of course, when we change, for example, the text of the original copy, it will change into the other artboards. This is very useful if you want to create a series of the same thing and you don't have to copy and paste every time. You can just write into the original copy. So we can write, for example, artboard, and of course it will write the same thing onto the other copies of the original. Let's try, for example, to change the color to fill this rectangle. So we can change its color from here, and of course it will change also the copies in the same color. Let's do another experiment. To close the video, we can put an image by dragging it into the first rectangle, and of course it will copy it also onto the others. But of course, if we change the position of the first copy, it will change into the others. But if we want, for example, to distinguish this, we can do this. Of course, when we change this, it will not change onto the other copies. So it is a really cool trick that you can use to help your work into Adobe Experience Design. So this is all for this video, and thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. I invite you to see the other videos of this channel. Thank you again, and we will see each other in the next video about Adobe Experience Design.